Full Disclosure interviewed David Tokofsky, an elected member of the Los Angeles Unified School Board since 1995. We asked him to explain why the board issues non-voter approved bonds, known as Certificates of Participation, called COPs, and to tell us how they're used by the district.
Most of the issuance of the COPs are just regular board issuance of COPs. For example, the board voted over the last 2 years to put about $200 million into computer technology through COPs. That did not go through the land bank or through the financing corporation.
His response raised more questions when he described a land bank and a financing corporation. Most people have never heard of these mysterious organizations, which have never been referred to in the newspapers or television media. We asked him, what is the role of the land bank and the financing corporation?
Through this entity that was created called the Land Bank and a Financing Corporation. And this entity has very little minutes because, in fact, there's only been somewhere, let's say, less than 10 actions that have ever happened by it, and they're very simple, short actions. Shall the board of this governing agency, which is essentially the Board of Education, issue the COPs in which to put a piece of property into the land bank while the need for the property for schools is there, it may not have risen to the level of the timing and the absolute need to construct. But there's no justification to put students in that location as we sit here today because there's a greater need down here, 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 and here. There you're putting your bond money in. But you'd be a fool as a planner for the district to let that property go off to something else because you can truly anticipate that the growth in the East San Fernando Valley is occurring and you could use a property like that. So the vehicle that the attorneys created is the land bank and the financing corporation. It's a very small portion of the COPs. You should not say COPs, land bank, absolutely the same.
Okay. When Full Disclosure tried to find out more about the Los Angeles Unified School District's Land Bank and Financing Corporation, we could not find the agendas or the minutes of their meetings on the official LAUSD website. One of our viewers called to our attention that the minutes of these almost secret meetings actually authorize the expenditure of multi-million-dollar transactions, which are not described in detail and are approved by the board as a mere formality, with no discussion or debate whatsoever. In fact, we were told that these meetings were held during the regular school board meetings convened at any moment without being listed on the regular board meeting agenda, thus preventing the public from knowing when the financing corporation meetings would take place. We asked David Tokofsky, does this satisfy the requirements of the open meeting law?
As far as the Brown Act is concerned, absolutely. It is posted as a separate, not a simultaneous. One meeting adjourns, the other meeting opens. There are two separate meetings posted properly under all the rules of the Ralph and Brown Act, and so I don't think there's a problem there. Now, as per discussion, you're absolutely right. Most of these meetings, I would say, are single item. There's one transaction. It goes through in less than 10 minutes, certainly less than 7 minutes, probably, and it's basically an allocation of resources towards the purchase of a piece of land.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because it says it right in the paper and it's posted publicly and that material is available.
Well, in the minutes that we got and the agenda item, it didn't say what it was that was going to be purchased.
Well,
it didn't say how much it was.
Should.
It basically. Full Disclosure obtained an audio tape of 2 clandestine meetings of the Los Angeles Unified School District Financing Corporation and the LAUSD Administration Building Financing Corporation, which ran exactly 3 minutes long and was held after the close of a special Board of Education meeting on June 22, 2004. There was no television coverage of this 3-minute meeting. Someone had made a decision at the public television channel, KLCS, which is owned and operated by the LAUSD, not to televise the 3-minute long meeting, which is involved in the approval of millions of dollars in non-voter approved certificates of participation, COPs. Now, if you will listen carefully to the audio tape of the meeting, which is required by law, you will hear for yourself how the Los Angeles Unified School Board approved without objection and without discussion the sale and delivery of $50 million in refunding certificates of participation for multi-properties projects.
LAUSD Financing Corporation and the LAUSD Administration Building Finance Corporation simultaneously, if you don't mind. It is 8:29 p.m.
Yeah, what was the old line I used to say?
I'm going to call the roll. Ms. Cantor, Ms. Kornstein, here. Ms. Lamont, Mr. Lansing, Mr. Lauritsen, Mr. Dukovsky, here. Mr. Wiesar.
Here.
Thank you. Board members, you have agendas for both of these. If we could do the LAUSD Financing Corporation, you can ask for it, or you could try to have a motion to vote for it. For the Financing Corporation, if we can do that item first, there is one resolution for you to approve. It's adoption of a resolution of the Board of Directors of the LAUSD Financing Corporation authorizing the execution, sale, and delivery not to exceed $50 million of refunding certificates of participation, multiple properties project in one or more series, approving certain forms of documents related thereto, and directing certain other actions in connection therewith. We would need that moved. Moved by Mr. Lauritsen, second by Ms. Lamont.
Any objections? No
No, we have
objections.
one more. We have another one.
Motion to adjourn.
That one passes. Board members, before we adjourn, we still have another resolution in the other simultaneous meeting.
Now you will hear the board again, a second time, acting as the Administration Building Financing Corporation, without objection and without discussion, approving an unspecified amount of certificates of participation bonds for execution, sale, and delivery. The resolution is worded so vaguely that they are asked to approve, quote, a certain number of certificates of participation, along with a certain documents and certain actions to be taken. Then a reference is made to change Beaudry from taxable to tax exempt.
This is a resolution of the Board of Directors of the LAUSD Administration Building Finance Corporation authorizing the execution, sale, and delivery of certain certificates of participation, the administration building project, in one or more series, approving certain forms of documents related thereto, and directing certain other actions in connection therewith. We would need that moved.
I don't have that one.
Is there a second?
Moved by Ms. Kornstein, second by Mr. Lauritsen.
Any objections?
Yeah, just a quick. The one I only got one. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Mr. Burbridge will be able to help us.
So the first one was the King Drew.
Correct. The first one was King Drew. The second one is the Beaudry going from taxable to tax exempt.
That's a good thing. It saves us money, guys. We save money. Okay.
Any objections? No objections, so ordered.
Thank you. A motion to adjourn both simultaneous meetings would be in order. That was moved by Ms. Kornstein,
Is there a second? Second to adjourn?
second
Any
by
objection?
Mr. Lauritsen.
No objection? So ordered. Thank you. Have a good night.
8:32.
Luckily we passed the resolution, otherwise we would have been here for 10.
The total time for the untelevised Financial Corporation meetings to approve untold millions of non-voter approved bonds was exactly 3 minutes, including discussion and without objection votes. We asked Mr. Dukovsky, why were the television cameras turned off, and why was there no television coverage of such an important proceeding?
That could easily happen, but maybe not for the suspicious reasons that the viewer may understand, and I'll find out why the Financing Corp isn't on TV. It should be on TV. It may not make interesting watching anyway, but the channel, the public channel, shouldn't turn that off. It's a publicly noticed and publicly acted meeting, and it's.
We want to hear from you, our viewers. What do you think about these secret meetings? Do you think the public has a right to hear the deliberations of the Los Angeles Unified School Board when they vote to issue non-voter approved bonds known as COPs? And should the LAUSD disclose the amount of the COP bonds that they're selling before they vote? And should there be oversight on how the billions of COPs are being spent? Just like they do with voter-approved bonds. After all, the taxpayers are being asked to pay for them too. Please respond to our survey and leave your comments. Thank you.